Mark, 30 seconds until airtime. Once again, stations, if you encounter technical issues during the broadcast, please call the Oregon Studio Hotline at 336-831-0864. Stations, your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
Duck's gonna pick it up, and here we go. Got him deep. He's open. He's got it, and he's gone.
How about that?
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
Omarui for three. Yes! Oh, and a steal and slam for Williams. Duarte to the basket. The slam. For the third time in the last 5 years, the Ducks are Pac-12 champions. Outright champs.
Holy three. Volleyball. Left wing. Pow. Yeah, boom. Regular season champions, and now Pac-12 tournament champions.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
What a weekend. All right, we all have to sit here and just get excited for a moment because the Ducks have won their 4th Pac-12 championship in the last 6 years. Man, what a weekend for the Ducks. And it wasn't just men's basketball. We're going to talk about all of that because Dana Altman had a lot of good things to say. Keenan Wan had a lot of good things to say after Oregon Acrobatics and Tumbling took down Baylor this weekend. Matt Ulmer, after his volleyball squad's huge win over Washington. Also, Brooke Nunneveller with a historic performance. Melissa Lombardi, Oregon softball head coach. Going to hear from her after the opening weekend at the Jane. And Oregon baseball with a dominant performance over UC Santa Barbara on the road. It's a great time to be a Duck. First question of the day, Dustin Peterson. Any idea when football single-game tickets go on sale? I am so glad that you're asking that question. I can't even express to you how excited I am that that is the first question we get today. Dustin, I do not know. I will pass it along up the food chain, though, and we'll see if Oregon Tickets, if their office will be able to answer that question. May not have a date yet, but we're all hoping. Well, without further ado, why don't we relive something kind of fun that happened this weekend, huh? 80-67, the final. The Ducks win in Corvallis. Oregon goes back-to-back. And for the 4th time in the last 6 years, the Ducks are Pac-12 champions. Oh, that's just good stuff. That's just good stuff. The pure joy. Oh, I absolutely love it. What a time to be a Duck. All right, let's talk about it. That was my first road broadcast where I was actually in the building doing the road broadcast since February 22nd of 2020. How many people that are listening right now didn't know that? And if a lot of people say, no, that's amazing, I didn't know that it had been that long, then that means that we did a good job with these remote broadcasts over the last year. Ducks are Pac-12 champions. Pretty darn cool. First road broadcast for me, though, since Oregon beat Arizona 73-72 in overtime in Tucson back on February 22nd of last year. Weird. I got to tell you, I'm sitting up there at Go Coliseum. I'm putting things together, and I just was like, this is odd. It just felt really weird being on the road again, but, man, it was a great time for the Ducks. Absolutely devastating shooting performance for Oregon to the tune of there were 3 off the school record. I'll just put it that way. There were 3 off the school record for made threes in a game. Oregon was just lights out from three-point. Lights out from three-point. Ducks finished 15 of 23. That's 65% from beyond the arc. You hear from Dana Altman coming up in just a moment because they were ridiculously good. Will Richardson, I think, is the difference. He had 17 points in the first half, 22 points against Oregon State. 7 of 12 from the floor, and I think that he was the difference The reason Oregon was able to win by double digits is because of Will Richardson. And it wasn't just the shooting. That's not what I mean. Penetrating, kicking, finding an open man. Will Richardson did that. I think he's the X factor. Now, that being said, Oregon, coming into that game last night, was giving up an average of 43% shooting to the opposition on the year. Well, in the Ducks' last 5 games, every team has shot better than that. Now, the competition's been good, don't get me wrong. But a couple of times now, actually 3 times now in the last 5, a team has shot 50% or better against Oregon. I feel like that's going to be the one thing, as the Beavers shot 52% last night, that may hurt the Ducks. And you're going to hear Dana Altman talk about that because the defense does need to, I think, lock down here down the stretch. It's just that their shooting percentage on Oregon's side of the ledger has been so good that the Ducks have been able to do some pretty amazing things. So I saw the Sports Pac-12 Twitter account mention this, and I've been going back and trying to confirm, but man, if this is true, this is amazing. Ducks become the first ever program in conference history to win both the regular season men's basketball championship and the Pac-12 football championship in back-to-back seasons. Football goes back-to-back. Men's basketball goes back-to-back. Awesome stuff for the Ducks. Awesome stuff. Ducks are healthy, and the Ducks are dangerous heading to Las Vegas. And we'll break down the bracket for you in just a moment. Oregon is now 8-1 in their last 9. Pretty darn good. And they've got wins over Arizona State, Colorado, Utah, Stanford, Cal, Arizona, UCLA, and Oregon State. Only loss was to USC. I understand why the Trojans might be a little bit upset that they didn't get it done and they didn't win a Pac-12 title. They played 2 more league games than the Ducks. Oregon had the higher winning percentage. Those were the rules, and yeah, the Ducks won the title. Now, if I was a Trojan fan, might be a little upset about that. Trojans also finished the season 2-3 in their last 5. Ducks went 8-1 in their last 9. I think that Oregon is healthy, and Oregon is going to be really dangerous heading into this, what is going to be, I think, a really, really fun tournament in Las Vegas. So let me go back in time for you just for a moment, okay? So Dana Altman takes over 11 years ago, and he says, well, Arizona was at the top of the league. We were chasing Arizona and UCLA at the time. Well, since then, there's been a lot of Oregon and Arizona at the top of the Pac-12 standings, both in the tournament and in the regular season. Oregon won the regular season title in the 2015-16 season. Ducks also won the championship in Vegas. That actually, was it in Vegas at that point? They won the Pac-12 tournament at that point, 15-16. Tied with Arizona for the regular season title in 16-17. Arizona ended up winning the title in, that one was in Vegas in the tournament. Then it was Arizona winning the double in 17-18. Washington won it in 18-19. But Oregon, you'll remember, won the title in Vegas. That 18-19 season when they won 4 games in 4 days, playing in the night game every time. It was so much fun. Then last year, Oregon got it done in the regular season. They were poised to do well in Vegas again before everything shut down. That was this week a year ago that everything stopped. Feels a lot longer than a year ago, doesn't it? And then this year, Oregon gets it done. 4 times in the last 6 years. There have been a lot of runs where Arizona and UCLA have just dominated the conference. You can now confidently say, thanks to Dana Altman and the Ducks, that Oregon is in that conversation now in a dominant stretch. The Ducks have won at least a regular season, at least one title, either regular season or the tournament for the Pac-12 in 5 of the last 6 years. And they've won 4 of the last 6 regular season championships. And Dana Altman has won more games as a head coach in Las Vegas, and the Ducks have won more Pac-12 tournament games since it's been in Las Vegas than any program out there. So I think Oregon's the class of the conference, and I don't think it's close. And I'm a little bit upset that I'm seeing all these bracket projections today. I'm so upset I'm throwing my pen, apparently. I'm a little upset to see all these bracket projections that have Oregon as like a 7 or an 8. I mean, I understand USC won the head-to-head, but I don't know. I feel like Oregon, if the Ducks get it done in Vegas, I think they could end up as a 4. I mean, look, I'm not as familiar with the rest of the country as I should say as I am with the Pac-12 conference. But I look at Oregon, and they're not in the top 25 right now, which is crazy. You hear things like Mick Cronin saying, well, they're a top 10 team. Well, they've played some other top 10 teams UCLA has this year. I don't know, man. I'll just put it this way. If I was a coach and a team, and I saw Oregon come up on my draw at the NCAA tournament selection show, I think I'd go, son of God. You know, that would be my reaction. I'd be like, no, I don't want to play the Ducks. Oregon is healthy, and Oregon is dangerous here down the stretch. The bracket is ready to roll. Remember, the Beavers are actually going to, even as the 5 seed, get a bye because Arizona is not going to the Pac-12 tournament. They're instituting that self-imposed postseason ban. Tobias asking, is Dana Altman the most successful coach in all of Oregon sports history? Ooh. That's maybe, I don't know. I think that there's an argument to be made there. I'm going to have to formulate a better response to that question here in a moment. Okay, so the first round in the Pac-12 tournament. 1 o'clock. The 8-9 game between Washington State and Arizona State. Oregon will play the winner of that game at 11:30 on Thursday. That means no Duck Insider for us because I'll be on the air doing men's basketball. Oregon will face the winner of Washington State, Arizona State. Without Isaac Bonton, Washington State's been 2-3 since he got hurt. Arizona State's been banged up seemingly all year, so we'll see who the Ducks end up playing in that 11:30 game. I kind of hope it's Washington State just so the Ducks can really exercise that demon of losing to Washington State when they came off a COVID pause. Then the 2:30 game on Thursday is Oregon State against UCLA, but more importantly, that first round that begins on Wednesday, it'll be number 10 Washington against number 7 Utah at 4 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock it's number 11 Cal against number 6 Stanford, the seeding in the Pac-12 tournament. USC the 2 seed, Colorado is the 3 seed, and right now it looks like Oregon, USC, Colorado, and UCLA, the top 4 seeds in the Pac-12 tournament, are also the 4 teams that are looking like they're going to get into the big tournament for March Madness. Whew, man, this is fun. This is the best time of year. When you get into March and all of the spring sports get going and basketball's firing and you're coming up on spring football, it's like, man, this is fun. I saw a question about fans in Vegas. Are they allowing fans in the stands at the Pac-12 tournament? To be honest, I want to say family is allowed, and I haven't seen that they're going to have anybody else, but I'll double check that during the break. To be honest, I haven't thought about it because I'm not going. We're doing the games remotely again. All right, we're going to hear from Dana Altman coming up in just a moment. Before we take the break, I do want to acknowledge something that's been really painful for all of us over the last almost week now, it feels like. We lost a dear member of the Oregon family on Friday as our friend Chris Bjork passed away surrounded by his family. We've got a tribute to Chris who deserves it more than anybody I could think of coming on the show tomorrow. We wanted to make sure that we spent enough time to gather some photos, some videos, and I'm actually in the midst of writing the tribute right now. We will have that on tomorrow's show. It has been very difficult for everybody around the University of Oregon Athletic Department. Particularly for myself, it has been not a very good weekend. But I want to acknowledge, even though we'll have the full tribute tomorrow, I want to acknowledge that our friend did pass away, and we will remember Chris Bjork in the only way we know how, and you'll know what I mean tomorrow on the show. Coming up, we're going to hear from Dana Altman. It is Duck Insider here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at takesimplesteps.com or contact a local country representative.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield IMG College.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
Football
I want to be a
stadium.
bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. My thanks to the kind comments from Thomas on YouTube. Fun hearing you call it on the radio. Man, that was fun being up there. Ducks winning another Pac-12 title, and it's pretty easy to do this show when the Ducks just keep winning Pac-12 championships. You got to love it. I'll take some of your Facebook comments, questions. I see Leah mentioned number 25 in the coaches poll. Yeah, but not in the AP poll. I don't get it. What is going on? Whatever. The rankings don't matter. The seeding does matter. I'll say it again. I wouldn't want to see Oregon on a bracket line. I really wouldn't. Dana Altman, congratulations to him and the entire coaching staff, the Ducks, for getting it done with the win in Corvallis. Ducks Pac-12 champs. We talked with Dana Altman post-game last night.
Fourth time in the last 6 years that you guys have won the Pac-12 regular season title. Congratulations. How's it feel?
Well, it feels really good. I'm really, a lot of excitement in the locker room. The guys have, been through a lot, but, they really came together. I thought we were really connected that first half. Second half, I thought we gave up too many baskets, but, I really thought that our energy level was good. Our ball movement was good. We finished it off with some good threes, but really, really good effort, even on the boards. After they kicked us last time. So that was a good stat. And I just thought we did a lot of good things.
How about Will Richardson's play? He had 17 in the first half, finished with 22. We talked about at pregame that he could be a real difference maker.
He was really good. I mean, I know the first half he hit shots, but just, getting guys set and moving the ball, he was really good. That was Will being really aggressive and really making some good plays.
Lastly for me, Coach, just overall shooting the ball. You got 15 threes. That has to feel pretty good. And when your offense clicking like that, going to be tough to beat down the stretch.
Well, we did shoot it well. Yeah, no doubt about it. But we're making good shots. I can only think 2 threes. I thought, man, I didn't like that one. The 23 threes we took, I liked, 21 of them. I thought the ball movement was good, and that's a number we should shoot. And they played a lot of zone, and so I thought our movement inside out was pretty good, and we got some pretty good looks.
Dana, to many on the outside, they'll look at this run and say it's as simple as you guys got healthy, and once Will's back in the lineup and Chris is back in the lineup and et cetera, that everything clicks real well. Obviously, that's a big part of it. But is it that simple that everybody got healthy and this is what a veteran team is capable of, or what really clicked here down the last month?
The healthy is the biggest part, James. Without Will running the show, I don't think we could have played as well as we did. I thought the last 3 games, Will really got aggressive and really showed what he could do. He had a great week. And without Will doing those things. So the health was the biggest part of it. But you hope you get better, and you hope you improve as a team. And, You know, we've tightened our rotation. I think we've got to expand that, especially for the conference tournament. But I've got a little conservative here, you know, just sticking with guys and playing the lead. But no, I like the direction we've been going. I think we're getting better. I think we're making great plays for each other offensively. Still want to see a little bit better connection on our rotations defensively. But we are making progress, James, and that's a big thing at this time of year. You can't be satisfied. You gotta keep getting better.
Yeah. Well, is there anything you can associate to Will's just performance the last 3 games? Is it more time on the court getting through the rust?
Well, that's a big part of it, Matt. You know, I mean, you take 9 weeks off. He was prepared to start the season. He injures that thumb on the 30th of November. We have surgery the day we open up against Missouri, December 2nd, and then you're out 9 weeks, you know, and so there was some rust, there was some conditioning, but I think the biggest part is once he got a little feel going, he's gotten aggressive. You know, I mean, a couple of those shots first half, I was like, wow. And then, you know, he knocked it in. We were running a set one time and he just pulled back and shot it, you know. So I like seeing him aggressive. And when a guy gets on a roll like that, you know, he's 5 for 5, I think the first half from 3, you know, you just let him go.
Yeah, Dana, following up on James's question, when you look back to January and kind of the lows that you guys were going through, were you just like, we just have to get healthy to get going, or were you concerned that there were bigger problems than just health at that point?
Well, both, Chris. I mean, you know, when you don't practice for 8 or 9 days in the middle of the season twice, you know, you just fall behind people. So, you know, mine was lack of security. You know, I mean, we're not practicing, we're not getting any better. We got to get on the floor. You know, our guys, you know, we can't make progress, you know, obviously not playing games, but not even practicing. And those 2 8-day, 9-day pauses, you know, I was very concerned we'd fall so far behind that we wouldn't be able to catch up. And but in the back of my mind, I knew we had good players. I mean, I knew Will could do things. I've worked with him for 2 years. I know what he can do. I know how tough Eugene is. I know Chris, LJ, Eric, Chandler. You know, so we knew we had parts. You know, we just took so much time off there, Chris. I was just worried that, you know, we'd fall so far behind we couldn't catch up.
Dana, the production you guys are getting from obviously your big guns in Eugene and LJ and Eric, did you expect to get what you're getting out of them when they transfer to this program, or are they exceeding your expectations, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised, or, you know, I knew they'd have good years because, you know, I thought they were really good players and they worked really hard. You know, Eugene went through the surgery, but Eric had a great year last year working with our team. You know, I knew they were good players, but you got to make sure they work in with your guys. There's got to be a connection. You know, they got to buy into what we're doing. They got to give up parts of their game, you know, for other guys. And, you know, every group, every team's different. And you never know how guys are going to respond. And you just try to give them a consistent message. You just keep trying to talk to them and let them know that, you know, this is a team game and this is what our team needs right now. And you came here to win. You came here to win and hopefully a championship and go to the NCAA tournament and go a long way. This is what the coaching staff thinks you need to do. You need to give us for us to be able to accomplish that. And you just hope that they're unselfish and they agree with that. And that's what I've said over the years. We've just had good guys that, you know, want to work with our staff and, you know, listen and buy into, you know, their role or what our team needs for us to be successful.
Coach, when you have big 7'1" Roman Silva, and especially in that second half in the 1-3-1 zone, with how hot your shooting was, were you just telling your guys keep kicking around, find those open looks, or were you trying to get them to move horizontally, move into the lane?
Well, we did spread the floor there a couple of times, trying to get him, to have to go out to the corners to guard. He was killing us on the offensive end. He went 5 for 6, on the floor. But we just thought defensively, if we got to the corners and went 5 wide, that they might have a little trouble, getting him out to the corner. And I think we hit a couple threes from the opposite side of our bench is where we were trying to get him to try to cover. And I can't remember who hit him. I think Chris might have hit one and Will might have hit one from that corner, but we hit a couple threes from that corner over there.
You had some pressure on you there going in. 2 things: haven't beaten Oregon State in their court for a while, and then obviously you had to win the game to win Pac-12 title. Did you sense the team was any different, or pretty confident, or how did it feel before the game started?
I was really honest with them, Jerry. I said, these guys are playing really well. They've won 3 games in a row. They've beaten us. I told them they've beaten us 3 years in a row over there. And, we're going to have to go. Wayne does a great job. I mean, that's a well-coached team. And Ethan Thompson's a tough matchup for anybody. Lucas can get it going. So we knew coming in that it was going to be a tough game. They beat USC here. They beat Utah bad here. The next night we struggled with Utah. So our guys have a lot of respect for Oregon State. We knew it was going to be a tough game. I told them to throw out the first one, just that doesn't matter. Let's focus in on this game. But over at their place, they are tougher. They play a lot better at home, and we're going to have to be prepared, to go in there and take it because they won't give it to us. And, I thought our guys did a good job of focusing. We got off to a good start. We led and just kept kind of the pressure on them all game.
They went in there and took it, didn't they? And good for the Ducks, taking down the Beavers. Just being released by the Pac-12, happy to report Chris Duarte has been named the Pac-12 Player of the Week. Man, he averaged 18.3 points, 57% shooting, including 58% from 3, along with about 5 rebounds and 3 assists to help Oregon go 3-0, clinch the 2nd consecutive Pac-12 regular season title. He also went 14 of 16 at the line, Chris Duarte did. He was a big reason why Oregon was able to go in there and take it. Ducks win their 4th Pac-12 championship in the last 6 years and now get ready to face the winner of the 8-9 game between Washington State and Arizona State on Thursday at 11:30 in Las Vegas when their Pac-12 tournament run will begin. Up next, we're going to hear more from Dana Altman as the Ducks are champs yet again on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, you've reached Toyota. This is Jan.
Can I save on a new Toyota?
Yes, with great deals through March 31st at participating dealers.
I'm really into mystery podcasts lately for those long drives.
Well, imagine yourself in a Camry when a celebrity sleuth solves the perfect crime. Or camping in a RAV4 when a shocking theft turns a city on its head. Or off-roading in a Tacoma when trouble follows a big city cop to the country. Spoiler alert, it was the butler.
Toyota, let's go places.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're back on Doug Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack inside the Country Financial Studio. Every head coach interview this year brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer and Student Research Center. Fight like a duck with cancer care you can count on. We talked with Coach Altman post-game, myself, a few other members of the media, as the Ducks took home their fourth Pac-12 title in the last 6 years with a win over the Beavers last night. We continue with part 2 of Coach Altman, recapping the historic season and looking ahead to Vegas.
Dana, kind of obviously a strange world and a long way to get back to going to Vegas, where it was obviously halted last season. So how much do you embrace just getting back to the real March Madness feel and knowing that you get a chance to roll through it now?
Well, I'm excited about it, and I hope the guys are. You know, we love going to Vegas. You know, we've had a little success there, so, you know, we love going there, and we love playing the T-Mobile Arena. It's a beautiful arena. So, you know, Will was talking to the guys. Will was a freshman on that team when we won 4 straight, and Will Johnson, Luke Osborne, they were on that team. They're telling the guys, you know, it's a lot of fun. You know, it's, you know, going there and the camaraderie and playing 3 games in a row. If you get that opportunity, you got to obviously one game at a time. You know, so it'll be fun. It won't be the same because usually, you know, all our families come in and you know, the guys are so happy to see their families and spend time with them. And I know some families are coming in, but we can't let our guys see them. You know, we're locked into our rooms and we're in a bubble, you know, so we're not going to let our guys see their parents, you know, which it's something we got to do. You know, we've got to stay healthy for the conference tournament, but we also got to give ourselves an opportunity in the NCAA tournament. So everybody's got to stay away from everybody. We got to keep reminding the guys all the time, be careful, be careful, be careful. And I hope they listen to me. I'm not sure they ever do, but I sure hope they do because, you know, we want to take our full team and go to Vegas, have a little fun. Again, we like the conference tournament. I know some coaches, hey, it's basketball, and it's basketball against your conference. I mean, everybody's there. You know, if your competitive juices don't rise a little bit when you got all the conference teams there, and you know, then you're not a competitor. So I like the conference tournaments, always have. You got plenty of time between that and the NCAA tournament. You got a whole week, you know, or 5 days to rest and get ready to play again. So I just want to go swing away and see what we can get done. And whatever we do, we just got to play well so we are ready for the following week.
Coach, when you look back on this season, do you think that the, I guess, extremities, the COVID, the pauses made your team closer? And if we didn't have it, would you be in this position? Would your team be as good as they are?
Oh, that's a tough question. You know, I think it has, Kate, you know, brought us together a little bit because, you know, we're all we got. You know, there are no movies, there are no parties, you know, you just stuck with the guys, you know, and, you know, I've spent more time at home than I ever have. I can't recruit, you know, so I'm home every night and, you know, thank God for my granddaughter. She's made it really, this whole last year, bearable for my wife and I, just having someone like that to spoil. But it's been a different year. But to answer your question, I have no idea where we'd be if we didn't. But I think you're right. The guys are a little bit closer because we're all we got. You know, we've spent a lot of time together because you can't spend time with anybody else. So I think that may have helped the connection between the guys.
You know, and 2 guys specifically, you've spoken a lot about Will, but for him this week. Closes the season with nearly 107 straight minutes in this week, Dana, and these are all must wins for this. Even Peyton didn't have to do it under these circumstances, and when he did, he was a senior in more season condition than Will, where it's 9th, 10th, 11th game of the season for him. And for Chris, the way he's closed out here, he's in the running obviously for Conference Player of the Year and All-American. What can you say about the two of them here this last week and a half?
They were really good. They were, Gene was really good. Those guys were really good. LJ was good. We had a good week, James. The guys played hard. I think we've won 10 of 11. Is that right? I mean, we've come together. I mean, we had a bad showing and the guys were embarrassed. And I liked the way, they didn't push that off. They all took accountability. I was upset with myself. I was upset with, the team. We weren't ready. We didn't play. But the accountability they took and to come back and, must win 5 games in a row, whatever it was. And 3 of them on the road. I thought the guys did a great job.
Dana, you've coached 3 other players that have won Player of the Year honors. Chris is going to be up for that award this year. Do you feel like his play has warranted him to become your 4th player? Or is there things that you've seen from him that haven't been in that discussion?
Well, there's a lot of good players in the league, and obviously I'm very biased. But what he's done for our team, through the COVID, through the injuries, he's been the one consistent. He's been the one guy, he and Eugene, that have been there every night. And I think they're both all conference players, and Will would have been if he would have played, but they probably won't consider him because he only played less than half the season, and I understand that. But again, every coach has great feelings for their players, and I think Chris should win it. But again, that's everybody else's decision, but that's the way I feel about it. There's a lot of good players in the league, and I don't want to take anything away from them, but I am biased because I've worked with Chris every day and I know how much he meant to our team. And so he meant as much as Joe did or Dylan. We've been really fortunate to have guys that have carried us, and Chris did a good job of that for us this year.
Hey, Coach, I think this team is at its best when you have excellent ball movement, as you had tonight, and when you have that really tough zone press. Is it that simple for this team? Is that the key as you head into tournament time?
Well, offensively, ball movement is critical. I think we have a lot of guys who can score, and finding a weakness with ball movement is really important. When the ball sticks and we just start dribbling, those possessions usually don't work out nearly as well as the ones where the ball barely hits the floor. And, or if it does hit the floor, it's to make a play for somebody by driving and kicking. So I think ball movement's important. Defensively, we got to tighten up a lot of things, but I think our best defense percentage-wise has been, the 3-quarter press and then back into our zone. For the season, definitely it's been the best. We got to change some things up a little bit. I think teams get comfortable when we stay in it too long, and we're not a good enough pitcher just to throw one pitch. We're going to have to throw some other pitches, to get guys off balance. And we stuck with the zone tonight just because we had the double-figure lead, but Tony was in my ear saying, if they get this under 10, we got to switch something up. And I think they might have got it under 10 one time, but we stayed with the zone until they got it under 10. And if they would have got it under 10, we were going to switch some things up.
Some of the X's and O's that are going through Coach Altman's mind as they head into a matchup in Las Vegas with either Washington State or Arizona State. Quarterfinals of the Pac-12 tournament coming your way at 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Pac-12 Network for TV, and, of course, an 11 a.m. pregame show here on the Oregon Sports Network. I'll have the call on the radio side. Oregon will face the winner of Washington State and Arizona State at 11:30 in the Pac-12 quarterfinals on Thursday. Up next, What a weekend for the Ducks. It wasn't just men's basketball, a whole bunch of sports successful. And we'll hear from them next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, welcome to the Spicy Drive-In. May I take your order?
Can I get the spicy chicken sandwich, please?
The spicy chicken is an excellent choice, sir. And to drink?
Whatever's fine.
Oh, may I make a beverage pairing recommendation this evening?
Sure.
If we are feeling especially bold tonight, sir, I would recommend the Mountain Dew with that. It's bravely unrestrained with a very alive aroma that pairs wonderfully with your spicy chicken. It's followed by a hint of zesty citrus flavor.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure you already know this, sir, but remember to appreciate the nose first by giving the Mountain Dew a little swirl to relieve volatilize it.
What?
To change the flavor compounds and activate your taste buds to get them fully primed for that chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
Now you're getting the hang of it. The muscular flavor-charged characteristics of Mountain Dew make for an absolutely epic mouthfeel when paired with spicy cuisine. It is quite on point, sir.
Dude, it's a perfect match. Like they were made for each other.
So true, so true.
When you want to make good food bolder and bold food better, do the Dew.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Learfield IMG College.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. And today's show is brought to you by our friends at Hoodoo. Check out hoodoo.com for webcams, road cams, latest snow conditions. We'll see you tomorrow at Hoodoo. Man, so many things to tell you about. All right, we're going to go rapid fire through a bunch of awesome victories for the Ducks this weekend. First of all, Jackson Messler has earned an NCAA cross-country spot, fresh off his third-place conference finish. He has been selected to compete at the NCAA cross-country championships, the national meet, set for next Monday, March 15th, in Stillwater, Oklahoma. The men's 10K race will go off at 10:40 a.m. Pacific time. Jackson Messler will be making his third career appearance in the NCAA cross-country championships. He's a Eugene, Oregon native. Finished in 73rd place in both of his previous two national runs in 18 and 19. And let's go, Jackson. And let's go, Ducks. That'll be a week from today. How about acrobatics and tumbling? This is our Women in Flight update of the week. Always brought to you by our friends at the Duck Store. Proud supporter of Women in Flight, the Duck Store. And Keenan Wan, what a huge win for the Ducks. 2 scores of a perfect 10 helped then number 2 Oregon knock off number 1 Baylor in a battle between the two powerhouses of acrobatics and tumbling. The Ducks are now 2-0. They were led by nearly a point entering the team event, and they were almost perfect in that team event to close out the meet. Both programs scored a 98.160 to clinch the victory for Oregon, and the final score was announced. The Ducks notched their first win over the Bears since February of 2017.
When the team scores get announced, and I'm sure you did the math in your head quicker than even before it could be announced. What was that like?
I'm totally a numbers person, so I definitely had it in my head. Same thing like Addie just said, knowing when they said the 98 and kind of waiting for those last decimals because we knew it was going to come down to tenths just with the fall we had in team event. It was amazing. It was an amazing feeling, I think given the past year we've had, especially just the trials and everything we've had to go through as a team and seeing these athletes, continue to persevere, to see that excitement and to see all the hard work pay off tonight is the reason why I coach. So I think it was awesome to see them kind of be able to have that feeling and see all that hard work pay off tonight.
I was just talking about how, the goal is always to be better, and she doesn't think the team's going to get comfortable with this one. So, and yeah, as a coach, when you're looking for ways to improve, when you see, those slips in the team event, you say, hey, great, we won, and also we could be even better. That's got to be, I'm sure you were disappointed to see some slip ups, but to know you can win and see some areas for improvement as a coach probably excites you a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. That was something we talked about is, executing on the floor. And I think shows us that we have all the potential in the world because we didn't execute tonight and we still came out with the win. So, it's back to practice and cleaning up those things that we had mess ups in and continuing to progress through the season and, peaking at the right time when we hit the national championship at the end, hopefully.
Keenan Wan, the Oregon Acrobatics tumbling head coach, was talking with Rob Mosley there post-meet. And what a weekend for Oregon baseball. Ducks came from behind to win Friday and Game 1 Saturday, then dominated Game 2 of the doubleheader. And I mean dominated. Ducks scored like 30 runs this week. I mean, it was amazing. Oregon scored 5 runs in the top of the 10th inning then on Sunday and went on to win 9-5 to finish off a sweep of UC Santa Barbara. That was a team that was ranked as high as 7th in the college baseball national polls. It's a 4-game road sweep for the Ducks and the first time in the history of the Oregon program that they've taken down a ranked team in a 4-game sweep. Kenyon Yovan was back in the lineup, and boy, was he good. Batted .467, 7 for 15, with 4 home runs, 11 RBI, finished the weekend with a ridiculous 1.267 slugging percentage and a .591 on base percentage. Kenyon Yovan today named the Player of the Week, according to the Collegiate Baseball Magazine. The Ducks are now into the top 25 in that Collegiate Baseball Magazine, and Mark Wasikowski was pretty darn happy post-game.
Yeah, the guys persevered. They really played hard. It was awesome to see. We had a lead there, and they did a nice job in the 8th inning to be able to kind of put us on our heels. We needed a relay throw. Executed a 9-4-2 put out at home plate, which was just a well-executed relay after the pinch hitter goes double off the wall, which was awesome. We needed that to be able to basically stay at a tie score, and then for us to be able to pile on and get a 5 in the 10th inning. Really showed the club. This weekend they grinded. They got down a couple of times, had some come from behind wins, and when things got tough, they stood up, they took the punch, and they delivered some on their own. That was really fun to coach that team that I was with this weekend. There were a lot of positives, and coming out of the Southern California trip, 4-0 off of an outstanding program that Coach Checketts has here at UC Santa Barbara. Was a good accomplishment for this Ducks club. We're looking forward to putting in another week's work this week.
So into the top 25 for the Ducks, and Mark Wasikowski, pretty darn happy because you heard him talk about there. They had to get a big defensive play too. It wasn't just the offense. Pitching looked good, defense looked good. Now they got to go play the Beavers this weekend on the road. That'll be fun. Oregon volleyball also in a rivalry matchup. They dropped the match on Friday to end the 7-match winning streak, fell at the hands of the Huskies. But then they lost the first 2 sets Sunday. I think everybody was kind of going, uh-oh. That's not good. But they won in 5. Brooke Nuneviller had an arena record 35 kills. She didn't commit an error until the penultimate point of the match, which was just like, damn, had to come at that point. She hit .523, though. Added 19 digs, 11th double-double in 12 matches this season. Brooke Nuneviller, the only NCAA player since 2014 with 35 or more kills and 1 or fewer errors in a match. The only Pac-12 player in the rally scoring era with 35 kills and just 1 error, and the second most kills in a match this season nationally. Head coach Matt Ulmer, pretty darn happy with the victory over the Huskies.
Really proud of my group. I think Brooke Nuneviller, I've been saying it, I don't think any team one person has more impact on the team than Brooke does. She just, affects the game in such a way, just all over the place. And she just showcased all of her talents in this one when we really needed her. You really needed your best player to step up, and she 35 kills and doesn't have an error until the very, very end. 65 swings, she passes a 2.6, and we did a 2-person quite a bit. 19, she's just, she does everything, and I'm just really proud of her teammates for following the lead and kept the energy up, and people were making plays. And, you lose 2 really close ones again, and that could be defeating because we just lost, we played so horribly on Friday. But I thought everybody stepped up, steadied the ship, and we just beat a really good team.
Coach, what does this win mean for the implications of some of your team's goals moving forward?
Yeah, we don't get to play Washington State, Utah, or UCLA again, right? And those are kind of the other teams up in the top 5 with us, all kind of bunched up. So we really needed to put one on Washington because we don't know if anybody else will. So that was important for us to do if we're trying to win the pack. Washington still has to play Washington State. COVID prohibit, if it happens, and Utah has to play Washington State. And, so that was really important for us, if we're trying to win this thing, which we've never done before, we needed that one. So I think for that, and then, moving forward, top 16 seeds, in the tournament, you get a bye in the first round. Well, how nice would that be? And put yourself in that situation. So wins like this get you there, get people to notice you a little bit. And I really hope everybody notices Brooke, because she really cannot be underlooked anymore. I don't care what you want to say. She's just the real deal. Find me a better volleyball player in the country. I want to know who she is, but there isn't one. You won't be able to find it. The best one in the country is on our team, and I'm thankful for that.
That's pretty darn cool for Brooke Nuneviller. And she talked to the media post-game as well, or post-match, I should say. And, man, what a historic performance for the Ducks. And Brooke Nuneviller with, a smile on her face.
I'm drained emotionally, physically. I think, oh my gosh, that fifth set, I just felt every emotion. Every single point that we got, our team was just together. And those are the best feelings in volleyball. That's why we play sports, and it really just paid off that last match.
After going down 2 sets and having lost the other day, how'd you guys thumb in the wheel, and what changed?
I think our attitude changed. Even in the first 2 sets, 26-24, 22-25, and they just made a little run at the end. I don't think we were down going into the 3rd set, which is something that I definitely cannot say about Friday's match. And that was a huge change. Just emotionally, we matured in 2 days, and we fought every single point throughout the entire match. So proud.
Brooke, you absolutely obliterated your career high in kills, 35 kills. What was clicking for you?
I was very aggressive. I think sometimes you just feel it. Sometimes you or you see everything clearly. And I just think I had one of those games today. Last year, I'm pretty sure my career high was 19. And I think I'm a different player this year. But even I haven't touched 19 so far this season. So I think my sets were phenomenal. Our passers did such a great job. And so just clicked.
Brooke, as the only person who really saw the floor in that Elite Eight run, how much of a leadership emphasis and pressure did you put on yourself in this weekend going up in what is considered the biggest match in the last 2 years for this program?
Yeah, we knew my freshman year even that Stanford was going to win the pack halfway through the season. They didn't have a loss. I'm pretty sure they had won within their last 3 games, their 3rd to last match, everyone knew they won. So we were fighting for that 2nd place spot. This year it's different. Last year I think we were bottom 3 in the pack, and it's incredible how much we can grow in a year. And we know that we can still be in the running to get a Pac-12 championship. And I think this match, we fought for that harder than we had this whole season. And it's a different mindset for sure.
Lost 5 straight sets. Then they won 3 straight sets to split the weekend in the matches, I should say, against Washington. Brooke Nuneviller with a historic 35-kill performance. Congrats to Oregon volleyball. We'll talk with Matt Ulmer, the head coach of the Ducks, on Wednesday. Up next, how about a little softball? Home opener at Jane Sanders Stadium. Going to hear from Coach Lombardi next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Steven.
Who's
said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It's important to buckle up your kids.
I know.
Sometimes car seats can be complicated.
I know.
And if your child's in the wrong seat and you get into a crash,
I know.
it could lead to a serious injury.
I know.
So you're 100% sure you have the right car seat for your child's age and size?
I don't know.
Don't think you know. Know you know. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Make sure you have the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back on Nugget Cider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. We begin your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill to wrap things up today with women's soccer. The Friday match was not fun. 3-0 UCLA, depleted Ducks team. They were down 2 starters, and then USC's lone goal in the 13th minute held as the Trojans defeated number 20 Oregon 1-0 Saturday afternoon at Memorial Coliseum. But meanwhile, for Oregon softball, Saturday the Ducks won 2, and then they ended up winning another pair on Sunday, and they combined to score 26 runs. Not bad in the home opening weekend for Jane Sanders Stadium. Melissa Lombardi had a couple comments post-game.
Well, Missy, you said you wanted a little bit more consistent throughout the lineup and throughout the game offense, and today you scored in 7 out of 10 frames and got half your hits from extra bases, and I think almost everybody had either home run or a double at some point. So I'm guessing mission accomplished from what you wanted to see yesterday.
Definitely. I definitely wanted to see a different look from us today compared to what we saw yesterday. I really liked that the team accepted our challenge and they responded. That was good stuff. Today you got to see what our lineup could look like top to bottom, 1 through 9, and even coming off the bench. So I really love how they responded.
That's great stuff from Melissa Lombardi. You got to love the response because the Ducks moved to 13-1 on this early season. They look like a top 10, top 5 team to me. There's no doubt about it. Meanwhile, by the way, for Oregon volleyball, as we continue, they're up to number 19 in the AVCA poll. Men's tennis. Oregon men's tennis team wrapped up its home weekend with a 4-0 victory over Cal Poly at the UO Student Tennis Center. Ducks are now 9-0 at home and 10-2 overall this season for head coach Nils Schielander. Women's tennis bounced back for a win on Sunday as well. Capped off its conference opening weekend in the desert with a truly thrilling 4-3 win over Arizona. They got singles wins in the final 2 matches to clinch it. The drama. Men's golf also in action at Bandon Dunes. We'll keep you up to date on that. And women's golf in action right now as well. And then tomorrow, we'll do it all again. It's your Cafe Yum 2-minute drill. Cafe Yum restaurants throughout Oregon and Washington, serving Northwest-inspired catering and takeout for your next meeting. Menus CafeYum.com. Get them at the virtual meetings, why don't you? Everybody deserves a good Cafe Yum bowl every now and then. See you tomorrow.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light,